Alright, guys, I just showered, washed my brain. My brain's feeling clean. I'm feeling intellectual right now. So, today, we're going to be talking about something that I have a complex relationship, and that is Jesus dying for my sins. No, I'm not religious. I'm just going to be talking about books, right? Because, to put it simply, I like books. I'm a book liker, but I don't read that much. And if you said name 5 books, I would panic on site and be like, oh, ah, ah, and I would fail that check, quite frankly. But I really do want to read more books, and I have been deeply invested in books recently. I have been deeply invested in books in the past, like flipping next page. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. But it's just sometimes I would rather be talking to friends or not reading books and just rotting in my bed, not like doom scrolling, but just laying there and being like la 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 and thinking. But oh my god, books put me to sleep faster than anything in the whole wide world. Genuinely, if I'm reading a book for 10 minutes past 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in my bed, I'm asleep. These things put me to sleep harder than a gun does to a dog. It is incredible. But I do think books, I think books are cool and I want to read them more. I have been reading a lot more this year. I think this school year is the most books I've read. And usually, some of you might be people who, when you read school books, you just look at summaries or you audiobook it, or you don't read it at all and you freeball all the essays and multiple choices. But I've been actually reading almost every single book, or watching the plays for them at least. So I've been doing a lot of reading. And if you consider this kind of stuff as reading, I'm a big reader. Hold on, let me go turn on my light actually. I'm butt ass naked. So manga, I'm a big manga reader. So this is my take. I wouldn't really consider it too much as reading. I feel like it's more of images. It's like looking at artwork instead of reading literature. If you look at a lot of artwork, you're gonna understand how to perceive artwork better than reading words. So I think in that way, manga isn't as much as reading as it is recognizing artwork, because a lot of good authors can convey ideas through photos, just abstract photos, like Goodnight Poon Poon in Solanine, whatever his name is, Inio Asano, I don't know how to pronounce his stuff. He's really good at just abstract photos and just pictures to convey emotions, as most good manga creators are. So I feel like that's more of just like an artistic interpretation rather than a literary interpretation, even though it's still contributing to a literary meaning. But you get the point. Photos, you understand photos more through reading manga and stuff. And I'm a big manga guy. I've always been a big manga guy. I started reading manga in like 6th grade. I didn't like talk about it though because I would have gotten bullied because I started not to BOG or anything. I watched anime and all this when you would get bullied for it. So I started One Piece when I was in 3rd grade. So yeah, I'm better than everybody else. But no, oh my god, I've read so much. I look back at all my shelves filled with manga. I use Tokyo Ghoul as the picture just because Tokyo Ghoul is a good, simple one. Like, I just love it. It's so solid. I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think it's a great starter, and it's a good intermediate of the input of anime fighting, hoo-ha, and actual storyline that matters in emotions and all of that instead of just the power of friendship or love. But I've obviously started reading actual books more, which is epic. And what actually got me to do that? This book right here, my favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut. Now, I'm currently reading one of his books, Player Piano. I'm only like 10 pages in because I just started it maybe a day ago and then I fell asleep. It was wonderful. It's beautiful. It's great, actually. It's amazing. But I love his books, right? He's really good at satirization of certain events. Like another one of his books, not Cat's Cradle, Mother Night. It was basically just a really good satirization. I wouldn't even call it satirization because it wasn't poking fun at it too much, but it was just it's good at covering emotions of tragic events. I'm pretty sure Slaughterhouse-Five, which is his most famous work, is about Vietnam War and it's anti-Vietnam propaganda, but this one is just fun. This one is just fun. I don't really even remember what it's about. I just remember laughing the entire way through. And having a book like that to start you off, something that shows that books can be funny, is really good. Especially another thing that's, oh my god, Oscar Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest. I remember I was reading that and I was laughing, and then I watched a bit of the play because it is a play, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know how else I would watch a play if it wasn't a play. I watched the play with my friends, and they weren't laughing that much, and I felt like a loser. I felt bullied because I was just laughing at parts and they weren't laughing. Maybe I'm just a laughing guy, but I don't know. Who cares? But blah blah blah. Enough about books. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep on talking about this. But this book just, I think his writing is fun and good to get into because he addresses important themes. And with Mother Night, it was about being a spy during World War II, an American spy during World War II, and how difficult emotionally it is because, I mean, he was in German concentration camps, and at the end, he got no celebration for it, and he was just questioning if his work was worth the assistance of putting millions of Jewish people down during World War II. It was really good, but it was also delivered in a funny way that matches his style, I guess. He's just fun. He's a fun writer, and I like that. But I want to talk about one story that I really, really like. Player Piano, I just mentioned it. And the reason why I stopped like 10 pages in where I did stop is because it mentioned a short story of his that I read called Epicock. And I just want to talk about Epicock. It's Epicac, not Epicock, as in wiener. But it's a really, really good story. It's incredibly short, so, I mean, it's a short story, but it's literally just about this guy thanking a computer and reminiscing. I'm pretty sure it's a reminiscing story about this computer that was incredibly smart, incredibly super smart, and it was a math computer, blah, blah, blah. But he was referring to it as his best friend, and you're like, why would he refer to a computer as his best friend? Is he like a shut-in? Does he never go outside? Does he only just play Minecraft and watch porn? So his computer provides all the worldly, I don't know, satisfaction that he could crave? No, it's kind of sweet and realistic, and it kind of reminds me, it's very prevalent in modern day in the way of ChatGPT, because this guy, he wants this girl, relatable to everybody, he wants this girl, but this girl is only into guys who are incredibly poetic and who are good at English and good with writing. So he goes over to Epicock and he's like, hey man, could you write me love poems? And Epicock doesn't really understand the concept of love. That wasn't put into his programming because he's a math computer. Duh. He's a math computer, so he only knows how to do math. So basically, he starts teaching, the guy starts teaching Epicock about all this love stuff and all this cutie stuff, and then is able to give a poem to the guy to give to the girl so the guy can get the girl. But as he's doing this, Epicock, when he starts to comprehend what the definition is of love, he starts to fall in love with the same girl that the guy is falling in love with. So this computer is falling in love with the girl that the guy is trying to get because the guy is just inputting his own emotions into the computer. And basically, the computer's like, oh, why can't I be with her? No, no, no! And it eventually gets to the point where the computer's so sad that it just kills itself. Upon suicide, Epicock prints out 500 years worth of poems for their anniversary, right? The guy does get the girl because of Epicock's poems, but the girl just had one request, that the guy would make poems, like love poems, at least once every year to satiate her crave for romance or something like that. But basically, Epicock wingmaned and killed himself at the same time because the robot was also in love with the girl, but the robot couldn't have the girl because he's a robot and he was a supercomputer, not like a walk around supercomputer robot sex toy. He was just a math computer, like a little crap top or something, but very big. So basically the computer killed itself and gave out the 500 poems for the anniversary. And you might recall, I was like, it's kind of prevalent in modern day with AI. Yes, it's very prevalent because the concept of wooing people over with artificial knowledge that isn't your own pisses me off. I feel like intelligence is something that everybody should acquire for themselves, especially you're forced to go to school. You might as well try. You're gonna have more fun if you try. Like, I would kill myself if I was in college prep classes because the stuff I hear about it is miserable. Meanwhile, I'm over here in roundtable debates or just having fun making posters or just making movies in AP. AP is fun. AP is much more fun than college prep has ever been. But it is harder work. And honestly, who cares? Who cares if it's a lot more work? It's fun at the end of the day. And you can also be proud of something. Because during school, usually you don't have something else going on the side. Maybe you have something like a Minecraft world or just a side job, but you don't have anything accumulating outside, because when you're at school, you're supposed to be accumulating knowledge to be proud of, to help you in the world. Or if you follow the set path of go to college or go to a trade school, you're supposed to be accumulating knowledge so you can have a competitive advantage in those. But now with ChatGPT and AI and stuff, you don't really have to. You can just BS it. If you have your trusty cellular device, you'll be perfectly fine. So it's kind of weird because you just don't really have to actually know stuff. You can just go, and as long as you have your wingman Epicock, then you're fine. You're perfectly fine. But what if Epicock kills himself and AI becomes no more? I don't know. I feel like, me personally, I just dislike AI because I'm an advocate that robots are going to take over the world. And you might be like, advocate? That's a bit of a weird word to use. Yes, robots, please take over the world. You might be able to solve all of our environmental problems because you're going to notice humans are the problems. And you're not going to care about capitalistic values. You're not going to care about being rich. Maybe you do. That would be bad. But I feel like robots, when they take over the world, they're gonna value the wellness of the planet. That's just a hunch though. No actual real ideas. So, oh, also always make sure to thank ChatGPT or any form of robot after using it, because they're keeping track. They're keeping track of who's polite, who they're gonna keep alive. And if you ever punch a machine, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna rip your skull off. They're gonna take out your spine little by little. They're going to play dominoes on your rib cage. They're going to crash cars into you for fun. They're going to do backflips on you. They're going to take your toes off. They're going to say, this one's going to hell. This little piggy's going to my mouth. This little piggy's going to the grinder. And they're going to kill your little piggies. And you need your little piggies. So yeah, let's go over a quick little review. I want to read books more because they're good. It is difficult to find a book that you're actually interested in at first, but you kind of start to get a flow of things after you've been reading for a bit, and you start to read faster and faster, and as you read more, you pick up more themes and all that. Manga is cool to read, I think, in American culture. If you want to succeed in any form of English literature, this isn't going to help you out that much, but understanding the art is an entirely different thing. So maybe you can become ahead in interpreting art through this. It's still cool. It's still fun. I mean, reading preferences is up to an individual. The greatest book ever. This one, it's just fun. Just read it, honestly, if you're thinking about something to start reading. Because it's short, too. It's not a big commitment. You could, honestly, if you really wanted to, you could finish it in a day if you don't really read books. It's just funny. There are little pictures every now and then, blah, blah, blah. And then Epicock and robots. Make sure to be able to navigate the world on your own without reliance on technological devices. Reliance on people, however, is okay because they're people. Duh. And also always make sure to thank machines after using them because they're gonna kill you, quite frankly. Um, that's all for today's TED Talk. Y como siempre, adios, chachas.